All right, Shalom. First and foremost, let's start off by giving all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakah Kadash. Double honors to the apostles, the bishops, the elders of Great Millstone, the men that taught me this truth. And peace and salutation, brakathum, to all you sincere Akim that's laboring in this truth, right, throughout the four corners of the earth. All right, and right now we're in the evolution of, this man's technology going digital, and to the point where he's going to try to merge man and machine. Fourth industrial revolution, okay? It started out with the computer, the desktop, then it went to the laptop, and then after that, smartphones, which you see right here. A smartphone is basically a computer in your hand, okay? And they went more innovative with the smartphone. Now you can use a watch, a smartwatch, to make calls and to text, and you even had this guy, R.F. Kennedy, Robert F. Kennedy, promoting that people should get wearables, okay? Meaning that is basically a watch where it monitors your heart rate, your glucose, sugar levels. See, this is that they've been promoting, which it's all gradualism, okay? Gradualism in the term of, they take their time. They take their time and to bring certain technology out. And now, we're seeing the emerging of the micro C-hip, which is the mark of the beast, all right? If anybody else tells you that it's not the mark of the beast, guess what? They're liars. They don't know what they're talking about, okay? It's not sin. It's not Christianity. It's not embargo, all right? It's not dealing with white women, all right? The Motb, according to Revelation, the 13th chapter, he's going to force all, both small and great, free and bond, to receive this mark, all right? The charagma in the Greek, okay, in their hands or in their foreheads. You're not going to be able to purchase, do transactions or anything without this mark. So this is where everything is coming to, where you're going to be tracked. People say, oh yeah, well, we're already being tracked in our phones and all that. Yeah, but this thing is where it's going to be in your body, okay? You're not going to be able to remove it. See, your phone you can put down and walk away, but once you get this digital chip inside you, all right, it's going to monitor you, your ins and out, okay? And also on this device is going to have all your information. That's why they want to go digital with the ID, all right? And eventually it's going to go cashless, okay? With the whole CBDC, central bank digital currency, which everybody is going to have to receive in order to, move around in the society to get by. And it's going to be all tied together on this implantable microchip. So this is what the elites, this is what they want. They want major control, total control, all right? But let me get a scripture. This is the book of Psalms, chapter 64, and I'm going to start at verse 5. They encourage themselves in an evil matter. They commune of laying snares privately. They say, who shall see them? And this is talking about the wicked elites, all right? What they do, they in their secret councils, okay, they meet in secret and they develop these plans, all right, of a new world order, how to enslave the people all through a microchip. So that's the next step, okay? That's why they always, talking about in this administration, Trump's administration, They want a technocracy, meaning that they want where the government is being controlled by AI and robots. You see? You know, that's why you got the CEO from Nokia. He's saying that in the near future, he said, I believe 2030, that the smartphones are going to be embedded in your body. Okay, what that's talking about? That's basically linking everything on that digital device, that chip. You see what I'm saying? So these are the times we're in. Okay. So it says, let me read that again. It says they encourage themselves in the evil matter. That's talking about the wicked elites, man. Okay, because the earth is given into their hands to rule it in evil and wickedness, man. Okay, they want total control. It says they commune of laying snares privily. They say, who shall see them? You know, and the snares that they're doing is a trap. You know, they do it privately. You know what I'm saying? When they you know, make these unjust decrees. All right. See, right now with this whole ICE thing, you know, these ICE raids, snatching up, you know, these migrants, you know, this is where it starts, because they got to cause you know, the chaos, and eventually the solution is to bring forward this chip. All right. You know, they're going to say, if you want to stay here in America, well, guess what? Get this implantable microchip inside you, so you can have, you know, that we can track you, this and that, right? So yeah, it's going to start off right now, them snatching you up, throwing you in these concentration camps, these detention centers, but eventually, you know, these detention centers, they're going to be chipping stations very soon. All right. It says, who shall see them? Really, you know, the Lord sees you devils at work. Okay. You know, they, you know, the men of the Lord, the prophets of Yahweh Shem Yahshai, we see you, man. Okay, that's why we're reporting this thing, and the Lord has made us to be watchmen, you know, to warn the flock, to warn the sheep of his lambs, okay, to warn them, to let them know the times we're in, you know, so you get that blood off our hands, man. We're doing our jobs, man. You see? So it says they search out iniquities, they accomplish a diligent search, both the inward thought of every one of them, and the heart is deep. You see? All right, meaning they're you know, they're think tanks. You know, that's what they do. They plot things out, man, and it takes centuries, man, to develop this thing, man. You know, they really, you know, did a diligent search in finding things out, man, through their technology. It is really the Most High's technology, this chip, but he's going to use Esau on the left-hand side to bring forth this technology, okay? Because a lot of you're going to receive it. You're going to make this chip your idol, all right? You're going to worship this chip in order to save your life, okay? You know, that's what it's going to come down to, because, you know, a lot of you, what the scripture says, the hour of temptation, a lot of you are going to, you know, succumb to this microchip. You're gonna get this the microchip, this mark, and that's gonna be for your destruction, according to Revelation, the 14th chapter. Okay. But yeah, that's the whole thing with Esau. They're lining you people up, okay? Because they're not gonna tell you that this is the mark of the beast. They're gonna put it out there as, you know, this is convenient for you. You know. They're going to use these celebrities or whatnot, okay, to promote this thing. All right. You see, with the Neuralink, everything is going to be as a thing of convenience, that you're going to need this, but really it's to your destruction. All right. But, real quick, let me just bring out the definition of gradualism. Okay, gradualism. It says, is the idea that significant change happens slowly and steadily over long periods through the accumulation of small incremental steps rather than through sudden drastic events seen in fields like evolution, slow species change, or politics, reform over revolution. See, that's the thing why they won't just come straight, with the chip. They have to do it step by step. All right, because they know it's going to be a lot of people that's going to be against it. A lot of people are going to reject the idea of having a foreign object within them. So they have to make it seem like, there's nothing wrong with it. That's why you got people getting chipped out there in Sweden. Okay, you got people here. Matter of fact, here in America, a lot of these celebrities, they already walking around with the chip. Okay, I wouldn't put it past them. A lot of these, celebrities, these millionaires, things like that. Okay, they already got the chip. All right, you had a company by the way of what's his name, 3 Square Market. Their employees, they're walking around with the chip. So this thing is going to be all about convenience. They're going to see, like, instead of you carrying a wallet, right, with a bunch of credit cards and cash, you could basically put your money and your ID on this implantable microchip. That's how they're going to paint it to you. All right, but don't be deceived. Okay, it says we're not ignorant of Satan's devices. We're not ignorant to the fact that this man, he wants you to deny your power, you deny your God, okay, and trust in him and trust in his system, which eventually this system will crash. This system will fail. All right, so don't get caught up in it. Let's get real quick. Let me see if I can find it. As I think Proverbs 4:16. It says, "For they sleep not, except they have done mischief." Right. This is talking about the wicked elites, man. They can't sleep unless they do some type of mischief. You know what I'm saying? It says they create mischief by law. That's one of the reasons how they're gonna, they're gonna push these unjust decrees, man, by laying tracks and laying down snares to deceive many of you. If you don't, and we seen it during the 2019 or like 2020, with the whole jump shot. All right, they were saying that you can't work unless you take the what. So the same concept they're gonna use during this time. All right, but during this time, hey, you're gonna either take it or you're gonna be put to death. Okay, and that's what the Apostle John seen. He's seen many getting beheaded. All right, people denying the chip and getting beheaded. All right, so we're about to see that and witness that. It says, "And their sleep is taken away unless." Slakia. Let me read that again. It says, "And their sleep is taken away unless they cause some to fall." You see, so their whole agenda is, to bring this, device so many could fall, because he's about to go down. This devil is about to go down, but he wants to bring a whole bunch of you with him. Okay, I'm talking about you Israelites, you so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans, man, because you are the Lord's chosen people. And if you take this mark, you will be destroyed. Okay, I mean, as far as those that take the mark and stay and are living here in America, you will ultimately be destroyed by thermonuclear destruction. All right, so we gotta understand that this time we're coming into, this man is going to make things, it's a miracle. It's basically those inventions and those technologies that he's bringing is a form of a miracle, but it's on the left hand side. Okay, this whole thing with Neuralink, with the brain chip, for some it might look at as a thing of, what he's doing is helping people and doing, but little do you know, this is all about, a control, to control the masses, control those, all right, that, the ones that are in power, to control those that are, succumb to this man's system. You fall for the okie doke, you will be put to death. That's eventually what's about to take place. Okay? Because at the end of the day, you got to let go of this world, man. We all gonna have to let go of this world, man. All right? If you're a true, faithful believer in Yahweh Shem Yahushai and you trust in this word, okay, and you believe wholeheartedly that the Lord is going to do what he says he's going to do, all right, just know that if we resist the mark of the beast, okay, the Lord is going to take care of us, man. Okay, because that's the time we're coming into, as trusting in Yahweh Shem Yahushai, man, not trusting in the system, because this system is bound to fall, it's bound to fail. We're seeing the end of this man's society rapidly going down. The Lord said he's seeing Satan fall as lightning. All right, so we're about to see this place crumble. The economy, all that shit is all fucked up. That's why they're trying to reset this whole system, the Great Reset. But you got people that's trying to hold on to this place. Okay, at the end of the day, this is not our rest. All right, we're here only to serve out punishment, our captivity here in Babylon the Great, and that's it, man. So love not the world, neither the things that are in the world, man. That's what the Lord said. Because a lot of you're gonna be caught up in the world. You're gonna be caught up in so-called be there for your loved ones, family, friends, your children, and you're gonna get caught up in that, man. Because why are you trying to hold on to this life, man? Hold on to the cares and the affairs of this life. At the end of the day, this place is through. It's done, man. The Lord said he's not going to heal this place. All right? So don't think that you're going to try to hold on to this place by you trying to get that chip and thinking that things are going to get better. No, you just marked yourself for death, man. All right? So with that, I'm going to end it there. All praises due to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai. Till the next time, I say Shalom.